Good day everyone, this is OBN Horn of Africa English News Broadcast. I'm Akli Lugab with the latest news of the hour, commencing with the headlines. Mobile application that protects rights of citizens deployed overseas launched. And the Bureau says preparations for the 2025-26 academic year well underway in the Oromia region.
የቀደመውን ስርዓት መጥላት የቀደመውን ስርዓት ማፍረስ የቀደመውን ስርዓት በአዲስ መለወጥ ትልሙ ሐሳቡ ያደረገ ስብስብና መንግስት ዋና ስራው ያ የነበረውን ማፍረስ ብቻ ከሆነ ከህልሙ ጋር አይገናኝም። ህልም ያለው ሰው ህልሙን ይገነባል። ህልሙን ለመገንባት በሚሄድበት ጊዜ የሚያጋጥሙ እንቅፋቶች፣ ታኮች፣ ትናንሽ ጠጠሮች እየለቀመ ይሄዳል እንጂ ዋና ስራው እነዚያን እንቅፋቶች መልቀም ከሆነ እንቅፋት ይለቅማል፣ ግን ወደ ግቡ አይደርስም ማለት ነው። በዚህ ምክንያት ከውስጥም የማፍረስ ከውጭም ያለ ልምምድ በተሟላ ደረጃ እንዳይሆን ከማድረጉም ባሻገር እንደ አዲስ የመቅዳት አባዜ ከዚህኛው ትቀዳለህ፣ ፍሬው ሳይታይ ትተወዋለህ። አንደኛው መጥቶ ከዚህኛው ይቀዳል፣ ፍሬው ሳይታይ ይፈርሳል። ከዚህኛው ደግሞ እንደዚህ ይሆናል። ይሄ ምን እንቅፋት አመጣብን? የምንፈልገውን የኛን ራዕይ የኛን ትልም ለመገንባት እንዳንችል አድርጎናል። ዋና የመንግስታት ጉዳይ መሆን ያለበት እኔ ለሀገሬ ይሄንን ገነባለሁ፣ ይሄ የተሻለው መንገድ ነው፣ ይሄን ለመገንባት ደግሞ እንዲያና እንዲያደርጋለሁ ማለት ሲገባቸው ሁል ጊዜ ትናንት የነበረውን በመውቀስ ትናንት የነበረውን በማጥላላት ብቻ ጊዜ የሚያባክኑ ከሆነ ከነሱ ህልም ጋር ሳይገናኙ ይቀራሉ። ለዚህ ነው የባለፉት ስርዓቶች የፕሬሲደንት ስርዓቶች በማፍረስ የተጓዙት ርቀት ቢኖርም የነሱን ህልም መገንባት ግን ከፍተኛ ውስንነት ነበራቸው እና የምንጠላውን ነገር ለማጥፋት ሳይሆን የምንወደውን ነገር ለመገንባት ነው መትጋት ያለብን የምንለው ከዚያ መነሳት ነው። እና አሁን እኛ ከመጣን በኋላ ብዙ ፍላጎቶች አሉ። ኮፌደራል ስርዓት መፍረስ አለበት እንዲሆን አለበት የሚሉ ብዙ ሐሳቦች አሉ። ማፍረስ ቢሆን መሻሻልም ቢሆን መለወጥም ቢሆን ጊዜ ወስዶ ክፍተት እየታየ እየታረመ መሄድ አለበት። በአንድ ጀንበር ማጥፋት የሚል ጉዳይ ሞክረን ያከሰረንን ነገር መልሰን አንደግመውም ነው። ችግር የለበትም፣ ሊታረም የሚገባው ጉዳይ የለም፣ የሚስተካከል ጉዳይ የለም ማለት አይደለም። ስላለማ ነው በደቡብ ክልል እኮ ተጨማሪ ክልሎች የፈጠርነው ጥያቄዎች ተነበሩ ነው። አሁንም በየጊዜው በሪፈረንደም የሚፈቱ ጉዳዮች የሚስተካከሉ ጉዳዮች አሉ። የኛ ቀዳሚ ተግባር መሆን ያለበት ግን የፌደራል ስርዓቱ በማፍረስ ዘመናችንን መጨረስ ሳይሆን ብልጽግናን በማረጋገጥ ዘመናችንን መጨረስ እንፈልጋለን። ኢትዮጵያ ውስጥ ለውጥ በማምጣት ዘመናችንን መጨረስ እንፈልጋለን። ያ ነው ዲፍረንስ የነበረው፣ አሁን ዲፍረንስ እያመጣ ያለው እሳቤና ተግባር።
Now, when I proceed to the news in brief, Ministry of Tourism announced that new tourist destination development projects are playing a vital role in revitalizing Ethiopia's tourism sector and strengthening the national economy. State Minister of Tourism Ndagana Abebe stated that following recent government reforms, tourism has been prioritized among the 5 key sectors aimed at accelerating Ethiopia's economic transformation. Lata Teresa explains.
State Minister of Tourism Ndagana Abebe stated that following recent government reforms, tourism has been prioritized among the 5 key sectors aimed at accelerating Ethiopia's economic transformation. Despite Ethiopia's vast tourism potential, the country has historically reaped limited benefits from the sector. However, Ndagana noted that special emphasis by the government has significantly expanded development projects nationwide. These initiatives have not only rejuvenated the tourism industry, but also increased its contribution to overall economic growth. Ndagana underscored that strong leadership commitment has been central to the sector's recent progress. He pointed out that expanding the scope of tourism and implementing institutional reforms are crucial for sustained success. According to the State Minister, the ministry is focused on both identifying and enhancing existing attractions while ensuring that new destinations meet quality and service standards.
የለውጥ መንግስት ግን ሲመጣ የመጀመሪያው ስራ እይታ መቀየር።
The reformist government established the Ministry of Tourism, which is a great attention. The second one was exploring resources. Which resources does Ethiopia own and identifying the developed ones? Thirdly, developing new tourism destinations, particularly in a standard way. The government seeks to run the tourism while the private sector is expected to drive the sector. To achieve this, focus was given to translating the concept into policies and strategies.
Also emphasized the government's effort is to create a favorable investment climate, encouraging private sector participation in the industry. Inclusive tourism development remains a top priority, Ndagana said, with a focus on ensuring that job opportunities generated by the sector are accessible to all segments of society.
Tourism is progressing in a manner it could be a hope for this nation. The sector involves multi-stakeholders. We hope the progress in the job creation aspect will grow.
The ministry has also introduced technology-driven system aimed at empowering human resources and improving service delivery. These innovations, Ndagana noted, have helped position tourism as a cornerstone of national development. A major milestone ahead, he added, is the planned revision of Ethiopia's tourism policy, which has remained unchanged for 16 years. The updated policy is expected to enhance the sector's competitiveness and operational efficiency. Additionally, the expansion of airport infrastructure across different regions has further supported the sector's revival.
The 16 years old policy was amended. It was discussed and validated, awaiting the final endorsement. Secondly, now tourism destinations were developed in an inclusive manner. It was first launched in the capital city, then to its surroundings. Although it is not enough, lodges and resorts are being built in regions. In connection with this, airports are under construction because it is one of the connectivities. The ongoing infrastructure buildings are among the massive efforts made after the reform.
Ndagana also noted the simplification of visa procedures through the introduction of a new system, which has contributed to a notable increase in tourist arrivals. In the recently concluded fiscal year, Ethiopia welcomed over 1.2 million tourists and generated 4.3 billion USD in revenue. The state minister attributed this success to the government's strategic focus on tourism and reaffirmed its continued commitment to developing and promoting the sector.
Moving on, a mobile application that provides information which helps Ethiopian citizens deployed overseas to protect their rights and safety was launched yesterday. The application called Lamangad is launched jointly by the Ministry of Labor and Skills and the International Labour Organization. Speaking during the launching ceremony, Labor and Skills State Minister Nabiha Mohammed said the application is developed with the view to enabling Ethiopian citizens to access relevant information, including the rules and regulations about the destination countries. According to her, the application will also enable them to access the whole labour market.
በዛሬው ዕለት በይፋ ወደ ስራ የሚገባው ለመንገዴ የተሰኘው የሞባይል መተግበሪያ ዜጎች ወደ ውጭ ሀገር
Lamangad mobile application officially launched today offers feasible pre-travel information to citizens on the preparation they need to make before they go for overseas employment. It will create awareness on the employee's work ethics, rights and responsibilities, as well as the employer-employee work relationships. The application also gives important information on how an employee can return back to their country upon completing their work contact and reintegrate with their community to start their own business.
For his part, International Labour Organization Country Director for Ethiopia, Djibouti, Somalia, Sudan and South Sudan, Kumbula Ndaba, said the mobile application has been developed as a unique tool to provide accessible, multilingual information on rights, safety of immigration practices and emergency supports mechanisms to Ethiopian migrant workers. The application aims to empower them to make informed choices before the departure, to navigate challenges while overseas and to seek help in times of need. He added, The director also said International Labour Organization remains fully committed to supporting the Ministry of Labour and Skills and all national partners in ensuring that tools like Lemangad are widely adopted, effectively and integrated into Ethiopia's migration governance system.
We'll continue to facilitate regional knowledge sharing, capacity building, and technical assistance so that Ethiopia and its neighbors can collectively strengthen the protection of migrant workers. Looking ahead, the true success of this application will depend on its use in the hands of those who need it most. I encourage all stakeholders to promote awareness, support feedback mechanisms, and continuously enhance this platform to meet the evolving needs of migrant workers so we can ensure that Ethiopian workers who migrate in search of opportunity can do so fairly with safety and dignity.
Why you want to just make this car, Toyota? What is your hobby?
Because topography is not comfortable to live here.
This is about 100 kilometers away from Arbamij city.
Taken to the same clan of which is found here.
And the same is true. This community do have their own lifestyle. It has 9 pillars like this.
Let's go smart. The reason behind the trust are the strengthness of the community.
They run on their own carways after they made it. You are not foreigner, you are our partner.
Yeah. Continue to walk like this, like this.
There are many tourists who come here and visit it.
I think it's a genius design.
China. Chinese are our partner.
Yeah, China.
You build the bridge for us, road for us, many things.
Yes, I work for
You are.
Because one generation leads for 18 years.
And what do you say about these traditional houses?
You are watching English news broadcasts on OBN Horn of Africa channel. Still moving on, dear viewers. The Ethiopian Educational Assessment and Examination Service says the 41st annual conference of the Association for Educational Assessment in Africa will be hosted by Ethiopia next week. Coordinated by the Ethiopian Educational Assessment and Examination Service, the conference scheduled to take place from August 25 to 29 will revolve around the theme transforming educational assessment towards quality learning and informed decision making. Lata Teresa has more.
The event will bring educational experts, policymakers, and researchers that explore critical issues in assessment and evaluation. Briefing journalists, the Ethiopian Educational Assessment and Examination Service Director General Ishetu Kebede said Ethiopia has enormous experience in educational assessment and examination since 1946. The service has been working closely with the Association for Educational Assessment in Africa to successfully host the conference. He added, emphasizing that the conference would present a vital opportunity to establish a robust educational evaluation system among member countries. The gathering will facilitate the exchange of ideas, technologies, and practices related to education and evaluation.
ኢትዮጵያ እንደ ሀገር እያበረከተች ካለችው
As Ethiopia has been positively contributing to educational assessment and other sectors, the association's executive decided that Ethiopia will host the conference after extensive discussions it held. The goal of the event is to allow member countries to exchange best experiences with regard to educational assessment and evaluation, new innovations, technologies, thoughts, offering trainings for the experts in the field, as well as creating fertile ground for this purpose. The other one is to expand education, diplomacy, and tourism in our country, region, and the continent. Generally, it aims at building robust education assessment system among the member countries.
The Director General stated that with the participation of more than 500 delegates from over 30 countries and the presentation of 124 selected research papers, the conference intends to underscore the importance of collaboration in tackling educational challenges across the continent.
በጉባኤው የምርምር ግኝታቸውን ለማቅረብ
Although 205 individuals were enrolled to present their new research findings in the conference, more than 124 papers will be tabled, whose importance of the conference was evaluated, while 5 selected international scholars will be delivering keynote speech. The main events will take place on Monday and Tuesday. But on Wednesday, touring program will be conducted focusing on the capital city and its environs, aimed at promoting Ethiopia's developmental activities, progress, and that the nation is rising.
The conference will also discuss and approve the Common Continental Assessment Framework, which would foster regional and continental connections, ensuring equitable and holistic educational practices.
የአፍሪካ የጋራ የትምህርት ምዘና ማዕቀፍ
Common Continental Assessment Framework will be discussed in detail during the conference and will be endorsed. Member countries will accept, aligning it with the laws and their educational systems.
Shetu further stated that the conference is a critical step toward enhancing educational standards in Africa, reinforcing the pivotal role of assessment in achieving quality education for all. Ethiopia will showcase its advancements in educational assessment and share best practices with fellow African nations. Additionally, there will also be an exhibition that highlights Ethiopia's development initiatives across various sectors.
The Oromia Education Bureau announced that preparations are underway in Oromia region for the 2025-26 academic year, focusing on quality and accessibility of education. According to Ephraim Tesama, the deputy head of the Oromia Regional Education Bureau, the main activities that will enable the learning and teaching process to be effective in the academic year in the region are being carried out. Lata Teresa again has more on that.
Advisor to the Oromia Education Bureau with the rank of the region's deputy bureau head, Ephraim Tesama highlighted the major activities underway to make sure the learning and teaching process more effective the upcoming academic year. According to him, the Bureau has embarked on enhancing access to schools for the new year and building additional classrooms during the rainy season. The advisor stated the effort is made to building pre-primary schools and enhance their standards, fulfilling resources and ensuring quality education.
እዚህ ዝግጅት ምዕራፍ ውስጥ ትልልቅ ስራዎች እየተሰሩ ነው። ትምህርት ቤቶች ወደ ደረጃ
In this preparation phase, significant efforts are being made. Plans are in place and work is underway to enhance schools' standard. Activities are being carried out in relation to fulfilling facilities such as water, electricity, internet, restrooms, and making the school's compound attractive and conducive. In addition, voluntary service are being conducted to reduce student class ratio.
The work of improving schools' standards were significantly undertaken throughout the region, he said. Adding activities are also being carried out in relation to fulfilling educational equipment, making internet services accessible, ensuring that the school's compounds and surroundings are conducive, and building teachers' residential houses. Concerning quality education, works were undertaken to ensure the availability of even one model pre-primary school in a district. So far, 361 schools were built while the expansion activities continued.
የትምህርት ቤቶቹን ስታንዳርድ ለማስጠበቅ
To maintain the school's standard, work is underway to build at least one model pre-primary school at each district and totally 361 pre-schools, as well as enabling other schools in district to scale up standard, sharing best experience from pre-primary model schools. Similarly, plan is in place and being implemented to make 722 primary schools model.
While he mentioned that 54,000 educators have taken capacity building training during this summer season, he said particularly their training has been provided for Afan Oromo and math teachers.
በዚህ ክረምት ውስጥ ወደ 54,000 የአንደኛ ደረጃ መምህራን
During this Ethiopian summer season, training is being offered to about 54,000 primary school teachers. The main focus is given to literacy issues. Kids can speak and listen to their mother tongues among the community. They go to school to be literate. Thus, they should be able to read, write, and have basic math skills. Moreover, we are building digital parks to cascading the digital technology down to the students. In the previous year, we established digital parks across 310 districts. We are also striving to build 460 digital parks in the current academic year.
Still ahead, diverse scholars at Haramaya University said the Green Legacy Initiative has restored dried springs and lakes by allowing water to penetrate deeper into the soil. With more on that. Haramaya University Research and Community Engagement Vice President Yisak Yusuf said the Green Legacy Initiative is bringing many benefits to the country. It has in particular brought about blessings such as timely rainfall, green vegetation, increased water infiltration, and a mitigation of water scarcity, among others. According to him, the initiative has restored springs and lakes that had disappeared or dried up. The development works carried out under the Green Legacy on basins around Haramaya Lake, which had dried up for the past 18 years, have allowed the lake to return to its original state and the water level increase year by year.
Tree plantation makes groundwater available everywhere. Countries also should contribute their part in the fight against climate change. Haramaya Lake was restored by the basin development workers done around the lake. The nearby farmers are also accessing groundwater for the cultivation activities.
Plant science lecturer and researcher Jonas Mogas for his part emphasized the importance of the Green Legacy, which has been appreciated internationally. He noted the Haramaya University as an example of successful efforts carried out in recent years in basins with concrete results.
The nation has accomplished great achievements by the Green Legacy program, which was appreciated at the global and continental level. Haramaya University has taken the initiative and planted 3 seedlings in the last 5 years. The Amuta Watershed Project, which was conducted by the university, has played a significant role in keeping the ecosystem of the area and restoration of Haramaya Lake.
Coordinator of the Lake Haramaya Basin Development Project and lecturer Dine Rashid said the works carried out in the watersheds are preventing erosion and allowing water to infiltrate the ground.
We've conducted water and soil conservation work and planted 3 seedlings. During the rainy season, When we see its importance, groundwater potential has increased, and the Gabion has protected the Haramaya Lake from alluvial soil.
The scholars stated that the university will continue the important work started by the Green Legacy, expand on these positive changes through teaching and carrying out further research and development. The Haramaya University staff have planted seedlings on the Damota Basin. Still moving on, dear viewers, Habitat for Humanity International has affirmed Ethiopia's potential to be a model in unlocking its enormous housing assets and opportunities across Africa. Habitat for Humanity International CEO Jonathan Rickford, who attended the high-level panel discussions on housing in Ethiopia and across Africa this week in Finfinne, told Ethiopian news agency that Africa is central to Habitat for Humanity's global strategy.
Habitat for Humanity will turn 50 next year, and we started our work actually in Africa. And so Africa is central to our global strategy. We've made an ambitious goal of helping 50 million people over the next 3 years. And here in Ethiopia, we really hope Ethiopia can be a model for our work across Africa. There's a huge need, but there's also enormous assets and opportunities here. And so our hope is that we will build more housing, but even more that Habitat for Humanity will play a role as a partner and a catalyst, that we can bring research, technical assistance, and support to create an environment where everyone in Ethiopia can have a safe, decent, and affordable place to live.
For the Chief Executive Officer, the two mega trends in the world are rapid urbanization and climate change, and Africa is the most rapidly urbanizing continent that just exacerbates the housing crisis.
It's so important that we create resilient housing and resilient communities. And we know it's actually 5 to 7 times more efficient to invest in resilience on the front end as opposed to having to respond after the disaster happens later. And so Habitat for Humanity always tries to build with sustainable local materials wherever we can. We try to build in ways that are safe for the families and then resilient to the risks around them.
The CEO finally underscored the need for active engagements of the public sector, the private as well as also civil societies in working together to tackle something complicated as housing.
Actually solves a lot of other problems as well. So housing certainly isn't the only need, but what we see is that when we invest in housing, it actually lowers medical costs. It increases economic activity. There's a huge multiplier and it creates jobs. It improves educational outcomes for children. So if you think about when you're investing in housing, you're actually creating that foundation that allows more and more families to be self-sustaining and sustainable. If we don't invest in housing, if you don't have housing in that, you get worse educational outcomes, worse health outcomes, and then children don't have the ability to grow into all that God intends for their lives. So we would encourage the government to make housing a priority.
Finally, to the news from neighboring Sudan. Devastated by over 2 years of civil war, Sudan's capital Khartoum is beginning to rebuild. The chaos in Sudan erupted when long-standing tensions between the army and the paramilitary rapid support